What's going on, you guys? And welcome back to the Anime Plus podcast. This is your podcast for everything anime and anime related. And I know we missed a week. I was sick, so that one's on me. But yeah, we're back in action. I'm feeling a little bit better, but I'm hyped for this. It's been a while since we did a pod, and I've been itching to get back out there and do it. But if this is your first time here, I'm your boy Aray, and I'm with my co-host Aunn. Aunn, say what's up.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Damn, yo, missing 1 week. It kind of feels a lot longer than it did. Honestly, missing 1 week isn't even crazy, but I don't know why it felt like a month. But yeah, definitely excited to get back into it. Appreciate y'all for all the support you guys show, and definitely if you want to talk to us one on one or you know become a part of the community, find like-minded anime enjoyers, anime watchers, and in just general, chill people to hang out with. Definitely join our Discord. We always have, game nights. We're always, small little groups are, um, conversing every single day. We always have like small little debates, just what's going on in life, and also we plan to do a lot of watch parties in the future. So definitely join in for that. But yeah, let's get right into it.
All right, word, man. But before we get into actually, first let's talk about what we're doing this pod. So we found this article where it ranks all the Magic Knight captains. Honestly, me and Owen went through some of it. We have some disagreements, so you already know this episode's gonna get a little bit spicy and heated. But
Yeah, bro, it is gonna get heated because this. I'm not gonna lie, this list is kind of the guy just I don't know what he was thinking with some of the characters on this list, but half of it's decent, half of it is going to get roasted. But yeah,
yeah, it's gonna be a fun episode. But before we get into the episode, quick shout out to our sponsor, DropClick. DropClick, Owen, that's all you.
I got you. If you guys have a desk set up, I feel like most of you guys do. Whether you watch anime on it, whether you work from home, or whether you're a student, you're pretty much always at your desk. Give it that personalized look. We have a ton of different mouse pads and keycaps. Most sets are matching, and honestly, it's just a way to bring your space to a whole nother level. You're always at your space, and you do your best when you're at your best. So
Hell
use
yeah.
code Anime Plus for 10% off, and hell yeah.
Mad loyal. Link will be in the description so you guys can check out more of the designs. And again, code Anime Plus for 10% off, as well as this article that we're going to be going over. That's going to be in the description so you guys can check it out yourselves. But we got 12 different Magic Knights out here. Supposedly. Well, you guys will see when we get through the list. But let's start off with number 12. So coming in at number 12 for Magic Knight captains ranked from Black Clover, we got Kaiser Grand Vorka. So I don't know if you guys remember this character. Oh, do you remember this character?
He was a snake, right? This dude was a snake.
Yeah, so he was an Ob. He was technically like a spy of a different kingdom.
Yeah. So this dude's a whole ass snake. I remember that. Definitely, I agree with this take. He is definitely the worst, least strongest. I feel like Asta could. I mean, Asta could definitely take this dude out right now for sure.
Oh,
Um,
wait, hold up. My
or
fault.
is he the vice captain
He
that
was a
got?
vice captain that took
Yeah. Okay.
over for the snake.
Yeah. For the
Yes.
snake. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So just generally, he's not even in the rank of the captain. The captain just got expelled because he was a snake. So, this dude, he was a vice captain. Still a good rank, but there's still a huge difference between the caliber of a vice captain and the caliber of a captain. So he got the position because the other guy got fired. Not like well, not like
Yeah.
he deserved the position or something. It was just he was next in line. But generally, I think his squad is kind of one of the weakest squads out there too. So just that in general, and him always just like getting bitched up by all the other captains. I'm not gonna lie. Like this dude's, if there's one bitch out of the crew, bro, it's this dude. So he's definitely the weakest, and I agree with this take for sure.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of go through some of his abilities and a little bit about him. First of all, we don't really know too much on him, so we're not going to spend too much time on him, but he's 49 years old. He has vortex magic, and that's pretty much all we know about him other than he was a vice captain. So, I don't know, man. I feel like this is a decent spot to have probably the weakest of the Magic Knights on here.
Yeah, like he just made the cut. Like
Yeah.
it's not. It's like he barely made the cut. We're going
Right.
to see characters like Asta, and the main characters are kind of small right now that will surpass him or already have surpassed him already.
Yeah. No, but the funny part was we just call this guy a snake and everything. We're like, oh shit, he's the co-captain. Or the vice.
Bro, at this point, if you don't know what your captain doing, I don't know what to
Exactly.
say. I don't know what to say to you, bro. Like you are with the guy every single day. You basically live with the dude,
Yeah.
and you have no information on whether he's a snake or not. That just kind of makes you dumb too. But
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, let's get into the next one. This guy wasn't that interesting. So coming in at number 11, we got Jack the Ripper. And honestly, man, I know my opinion, but on what's your opinion on this?
So for me, Jack should be a lot higher, right?
Facts.
Just because he's always compared to Yami. Yami and him. I know it's not always a strength comparison, but um they do fight a ton, and I would say Yami's top five for sure. Like, there's no doubt Yami's top five. I would say he's like top three, but this guy's it's like the Zoro Sanji clash, right? We know that Sanji is a bit weaker, but they still like fight each other. So I feel like that's kind of where I'm putting Jack the Ripper at. He's not Yami level at all, but he's definitely there to compete against Yami. And if anything, he's kind of like Yami's like so-called rival, you could say.
Mhm.
So I would definitely put him like a couple under Yami, but not 11th. 11th is way too low. I think there's other characters that, first of all, are a lot younger than our captains. There's like two
Yeah.
that come to mind: the girl that sleeps and the guy that paints. Like
Mhm.
both of them are extremely young compared to him. So just through raw experience, this guy has way more experience. Plus, we've seen what he did when it was the captains versus captains fight, and
Mhm.
he was actually slicing up like the tree ladies, like old tree, old whatever like she was like throwing out. He was basically slicing it up. So, I mean, 11th is kind of disrespectful for my dude.
No, 100%. I mean, if I had to guess without even looking at some of the other Magic Knights, I would assume he's in the middle of the pack, maybe even towards the upper echelon of the middle of the pack, because obviously you have the elites. But I always thought he was strong, and like you said before, him and Yami are like considered the rivals. They're like the Kakashi and Guy Sensei, where Kakashi's stronger, but Guy got he's there. You know what I mean? It's like the same thing, um, like same type of dynamic for sure. But again, if you guys don't remember Jack the Ripper, he has slash magic. He is still pretty young for a Magic Knight captain. He's 29 compared to, the previous guy that was 49. So, I mean, relatively young for a Magic Knight captain. But I mean, other than that, we don't really know too much if we're talking anime only. Me and you haven't read the manga. Small little spoiler, so maybe just skip like 10 seconds after I say this. But apparently, his slash magic can cut through spatial magic. I guess that happened in the recent manga chapters. So that's pretty OP. That's strong. You know what I mean? Like 11 is kind of, I'm gonna lie, it's kind of disrespectful for my boy.
No, I mean it's extremely disrespectful. My guy is in his prime. He's going crazy. He's compared to Yami, and the fact of the matter is, I put another point for him because of his mindset and the way he like kind of thinks. He's just like a do it like guy. He's like, I'm gonna go for it regardless of whatever happens and fuck shit up. That's it. Like that's his mentality. That's what he does. He doesn't. I know sometimes it could be like a double edged sword to not think about stuff, and not to have humanity, like humanity as in like a caring personality. But I feel like that makes him more lethal during fights. Like he doesn't. Not saying that he would kill a child, but like if there was like an
What
evil
the
child,
hell?
if there was like an evil child, I'm just making up a scenario, but like something evil that looked good, I feel like he wouldn't give it. Like he would not give two shits if it looked like good
Yeah,
or if it looked innocent. He would just go in and
yeah.
he knows it's wrong. He just bam done.
Right. All right, yeah, let's get into the next one. So coming at number 10, we got Real Boyce Mortier. So honestly, these last names are wild, bro. But if you guys remember him, he's like the dude that does a lot of the artwork. So he's one of the youngest captain. I think he is the youngest captain coming in at age 20. He does painting magic, and he's a squad captain of Aqua Deer. Do you remember this guy on?
Yeah, I do. He was actually the guy I was talking about when I said like Jack the Ripper is definitely older than him. Him
Mm-hmm.
and like that sleeping girl. But yeah, okay, so what I would say about him is he's definitely strong, right? We know that he's strong. He has crazy magic. He has some of the craziest magic we've ever seen with the paintings and whatnot. But the thing is, you still have to keep in mind this guy's 20. He's still like that's why I added a point for Jack the Ripper is because it's a mindset thing, right? Like this guy's he hasn't experienced as many battles or like been in that many fights that he will always make the right decisions and the right calls for his group and whatnot. Definitely a very talented and up and coming captain. Definitely, he will shake the Black Clover world as he keeps going. But as of now, I think this is a good spot for him. If anything, I would change him and Jack as of now. But I don't know. I feel like he's kind of like I feel like Asta can kind of even tango with this guy. I don't know. What do you think?
Yes. So if you remember, he actually lost to in like they had that exam, the Grand Magic
Yeah,
exam,
okay,
I think it
that's
was
what it was.
called. Yeah, the Royal Knight exam, that's what it's called. But yeah, he lost to and this author of this article is kind of talking about how he's inexperienced as a captain. So honestly,
Exactly. Yeah.
with those 2 points, I kind of agree. I mean, usually when you're young, you're confident, and sometimes even though you're that confident, you have a lot of inexperience and things that you don't really know. So honestly, in a fight between Jack the Ripper and Rill, I think that Jack the Ripper would clap him just because experience, maturity, rightful use of confidence, and just overall like ability for ability. I mean, painting magic, we saw a little bit of in the anime. I don't really know how much more it can do. Again, we haven't read the manga, but yeah, I mean, I feel like 10th is not really the worst placement for him because I feel like again there's a lot more stronger magic knights out there, but for him being 20 years old, that's still really impressive.
Yeah, I mean the feat itself is extremely impressive, but if we're going from like a captain's perspective,
Mhm.
there's a lot more than just talent that gets put into like a captain's arsenal. I think like you said, the competency of using the power is one thing, like how to use the power itself, and also just making the right calls for your team. We know that even in the last seconds of squad, the captain won. When he was getting taken away or whatever, he
Mhm.
still did like a ton of damage before he dipped. So it's like that type of key decision making helps so much within these huge wars and whatnot. So yeah, definitely 10th is a very good spot for this dude. If anything, 11th right now, in my opinion.
Mhm.
But he's an up and coming, and he's gonna get there. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the next one. So coming in at number 8, we got Charlotte Rosalie, and she is the captain of the Blue Rose Magic Knights, which is the all-woman Magic Knight squad. She's 28 years old, so just a little bit younger than Jack the Ripper, and she's got Briar Magic.
Um. I don't know. Okay, so what I'll say is not to be sexist or anything, but
You probably get canceled, bro.
their team is not the strongest. Okay, just want to start it off with that. We know that their team isn't the strongest. I know the vice captain isn't even that strong on their squad.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure. But I mean, the one thing we know is that she crushes heavy on Yami,
Yeah.
and her powers are extremely lethal. Like it's basically if you guys have watched One Piece, um, who's the Green Bull, like Admiral Green Bull. This
Yeah.
would be this would be Admiral Green Bull in Black Clover. I would say her power is very unique. It's very special, and it's extremely overwhelming in terms of offense and defense too. Like her defense and offense is top tier, but I mean, there's no really negatives to her. They don't really show too many negatives to her. Her power is extremely useful. I would put her like I always can consider her like mid echelon of
Yeah.
the
Same,
the
same,
captains. I
same.
wouldn't I wouldn't put her low. I wouldn't put her high, but she's there. Uh, so everything she's like a what do you call that? A master of none, but a what do you call
Like a
that thing?
jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. Like she's good at defense, she's good at offense. She could command her group very well, and there's nothing really you can say that she's very bad at, but there's nothing you can say she's extremely like out of the world at either. So
Mhm.
I would definitely give her like a mid spot for this. She's
Yeah, no,
overall a really good character.
Same here. I would say that she's about average. We haven't really seen too much, but just kind of going off what this character kind of portrays in the show, you would assume that she's supposed to be like one of those strong, independent characters that's a good leader. In my opinion, a little bit of an Erza knockoff. Shout out to Fairy Tale. Erza did it better. I'm just gonna say that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, she has a cool, calm and collected character, and then obviously when she sees Yami, it's a little bit different. But still, to be a Magic Knight, 28 years old, have the abilities that she does, and still lead a group, it's pretty impressive. Um, but yeah, I never really got OP vibes from her, and I never got weak vibes either. So I'm with you, man. I would say middle of the pack, maybe a little bit higher, but I gotta see the rest of this list to be honest.
I would I would put her like one under Jack the Ripper. Everything. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, same. And honestly, the reason why we're seeing Jack the Ripper is a little bit higher is first of all, we know he's supposed to be like the I would you say he's like the 1B to Yami's 1A? Or would you say he's like just a tier lower than that?
I think he's a bit lower than Yami, but then again, it's like the Zoro and Sanji situation.
Right, right,
Like they're rivals, but we know one is a bit above. You know,
right, right.
one guy's the one clowning around, and the other guy's the one kind of like laid back and still fighting. So that's Yami, and I would say the one screwing around is always Jack the Ripper. So
I
they
would
have a
take
really good dynamic with that.
I would take her over Real for sure.
Oh, 100%, 100%, yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
And I think it's like a couple levels higher than that too, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think Real is the second weakest after
The vice
the first
captain.
one, the
Yeah.
vice captain one. Yeah.
Okay. Let's
Yeah,
get
let's get into the next one.
Yep. So coming in at number 8, we got Nozel Silva, who is the captain of the Silver Eagle squad. He's 30 years old and he has Mercury Magic. Again, this is the sibling of Noel, which obviously is on the Black Bulls. Asta's homie, same squad. I was about to say drafted. He got drafted at the same time. But yeah, we haven't really seen too much other than him being kind of known as a royal. But other than that, Mercury Magic's pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. Like we haven't really seen much, but you can assume the way he could control that is definitely worthy of being a Magic Knight. So what do you think, Owen?
So before I even get into like his powers and whatnot, I want to preface one thing. So this guy is he's part of the royal family, or the royal people within Black Clover,
Mm-hmm.
and it's stated that anyone royal has increased magic usage, like powers and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But see, the way I see it is that's kind of like a double edged sword, because yes, you are stronger than everybody, but the way he holds himself and he really like shows his personality, it seems like he looks down upon everybody, and I think that's one thing that can negatively impact his fighting skills. If
Mm-hmm.
you're too overconfident and you think you're big and bad, you're never going to be able to exceed or like become better fast enough. And one example I want to give is the fire one. I forgot his name. The one with the F,
Oh,
right?
Fugalion,
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
that dude. Like he's also royal, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, he doesn't have that mindset of just like him being royal and everyone being shit. So like the way he trains, you see him progress day in and day out, and the fact that he acquired one of the mythical beasts, that just shows that like his personality and his essence, his aura is vibey. It's chill.
Mm-hmm.
And not saying that you can be strong if your aura is not like that, but it just puts me at a point to think that he'll underestimate the enemy, and in that point, something will happen. And I know I'm going into a very specific detail, but he portrays himself as that royalty that doesn't give a fuck about anybody. So I can see him doing that to anybody he versus, not like only strong people and whatnot.
Yeah.
But also like from a point where they kicked out Noelle from her family. Like you're a captain. If you can't harness Noelle's power, you can't like help her out and guide her the same way Yami did. First of all, it's very bad in terms of like leading. So I don't know. I don't hate on the dude, but I just don't think he's as top notch as they portray him in terms of like royalty. I think royalty is just bullshit. I think at the point of when you're a captain, you're a captain. Captain level is captain level, regardless of royalty or not. because we've
Mhm.
seen, obviously, is royalty and he's going crazy, but then we have Asta that doesn't even have magic and he's going crazy. Obviously, those are two separate things, and it doesn't really conflict with this. But what I'm trying to say is, being a royalty at that high of a level doesn't matter. It's like it's like when you're playing esports, a certain esport, it doesn't matter if you're on controller or it doesn't matter if you're on keyboard at the highest level, because at that point it's all about how you use your brain, more than it does mechanics. So that's my two takes. I think he's a mid echelon, or a bit above mid, just because he's royalty, but I don't see him as anything greater than that.
Damn, bro. I like that analogy you gave, bro. The esports one.
Yeah, because like, overall, right? Controller players are worse because it is harder to play on a controller generally, and then keyboard has a higher ceiling. But if you're maxed out on each input, it does not matter. Like,
Mhm, fair.
really, it does not matter. They both have their pros. They both have their cons. So yeah, it's at the high, only at the highest level I'm talking about. This guy's a captain, so he's at the highest level.
Okay. Yeah, no, honestly, I would say he's probably at the upper echelon in the middle. But that's just because we haven't really seen too much of him. Again, like we mentioned before, being a royal, you get more mono reserves, you get extra power just because that's the birth, right? And not really the birthright, but you know what I mean. Like that's you're born with that power. You know what I mean? And he is not necessarily utilizing his power to the maximum. Obviously, as a leader, he might not be the best leader. His squad is kind of portrayed to us as being like the second or third best squad out there. But generally as a leader, I don't think he's up there. Obviously, you talked about earlier, his arrogance probably notches him down in terms of battle sense. But other than that, I mean, a royal is going to be a royal. He's going to have those mono reserves. He's going to be strong. He has some crazy magic, but yeah, I don't think he's all up there, man. I don't think he's all the way up there like some of the other captains that we're going to see. But yeah, I'd say this is a decent ranking for him. But yeah, should we hop into the next one?
Just one thing before we do it, I'm not looking at this from only a strength perspective. I'm looking at this from an overall perspective, because even though, like, these guys are portrayed as one of the strongest,
Yeah,
you have to look at the Black Bulls, bro. These guys are portrayed as one of the worst, but we all know that they are definitely one of the best. We have
right.
Asta, we have, like, the electric guy Lucky. Like, he is vice captain level. The way he just, he is deadly in my eyes. Like, and then they have, like, basically Yami as a leader made the worst people the best. So that's
Mhm.
why I always put that into perspective too. But yeah, let's get into
Okay.
the next one.
No, I feel you though. I'm looking at leadership. I'm looking at battle sense and just overall. Yeah, I'm with you though. Yeah,
Experience and everything. Yeah,
right. All right, let's get into the next one. So coming at number 7, we got Dorothy Unsworth, and she is the captain of the Coral Peacock. She's 27. She uses dream magic. So again, a pretty young captain. I mean, all of these are kind of in their 20s for the most part. But yeah,
yeah.
if you guys remember her from the anime, she had the crazy sleep magic or dream magic. But yeah, Owen, what are your thoughts on her?
Okay, so as a captain, I give her a straight, like, 5 or 4,
Yeah, okay.
and let me explain why. I would say her attack potential, her ability, her power is a 10. Sleeping magic, uh, insane, something that is very rare within the Black Clover community. So it's something that you don't really deal with at all. That's why I give her that. But she's always sleeping. So, like,
Yeah,
how is she really taking care of her crew if she's always sleeping? That makes no sense. She's
yeah,
sleeping in the meetings. So I think that her main usage is just for fighting. She's an elite fighter. She's amazing at what she does. Her power is extremely, like, unique, so nobody can really, pair up with it or, like, fight it, because they don't even know what's going on. She probably has one of the weirdest powers out of everybody. And I just gotta say that she's always sleeping, so I can't really put her any higher.
yeah,
Yes, she's good at fighting, but she has no leadership, and she's, again, very young, so she lacks experience, and she's always sleeping. So her squad, I don't know how they are. I don't know if they're, like, crazy, if they're good or not. But I see zero leadership with someone that sleeps all day. But yeah,
yeah. No, honestly, I'm with you. I mean, we haven't really seen her do too much other than that one scene and other than sleeping. But how do you beat Dreamscape at the end of the day? Like, how do you beat that magic? I have no idea. So just because there's too much unknowns, I'd say that she's probably in the middle of the pack too. I mean, she could be higher up or she could be lower up. We just don't know. That's kind of where I stand with her.
Yeah, for me, it's like, yo, she's definitely one of the strongest in terms of fighting, raw 1v1
Mhm.
fighting. She's definitely one of the strongest for sure. But I think in every other category, she lacks. So
Facts.
that's why she's kind of mid bottom or like
Yeah.
mid ish. Yeah.
All right, let's get into the next one. So coming in at number 6, so middle of the pack, exact. We got William Vengeance. He is seen what? He is number 6? I don't know, man. This is the thing
Okay.
that me and you had beef over. He was like the squad captain of the Golden Dawn. He's 27. He got World Tree Magic. Obviously, if you guys watch the anime, you guys know that he was kind of a like was he was technically like a loyal, right? Like technically he was a villain type of thing, but not really, but kind of was.
Yeah, I don't know. He's always had like a very weird kind of um place. But the fact is this guy's not number six, bro.
Yeah.
This guy is upper echelon. He has one of the highest like attack and defense power. Like power wise, this guy is insane. You know, we know that the tree magic is deadly, and secondly, he has the strongest squad in in the realm. We know that the Golden Dawn are referred to as the strongest squad.
Mhm.
Obviously, that has to like portray his leadership. If he didn't have good leadership and high experience, he would never be that person, you know.
Mhm.
And whenever we get clips of like King Julius and whatnot, he's always talking about William. You know, he's always referring to William, and William. We know he's the number one dog. Honestly, he's number one. If it wasn't for the Flame Girl, like the Flame
Yeah.
Girl is too OP. She's number one, but if there's a number two, it's him. Like there's no like this dude is the number one captain of the number one squad, so you
Yeah.
can't really take that away from him.
Yeah.
And he's a great leader, great experience. His power is amazing, and he's a nerd. I know this dude is a nerd about everything. So, yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, technically he's a noble. He has the power of a noble. But if you guys remember from the anime, he was kind of like an illegitimate child. So obviously he came from humble beginnings in a way. And he had like that scar and the mask or whatever. But yeah, I mean, clearly being a leader of the best squad should net you at least a top 3. There are technically 9 Magic Knights. There's a couple of characters on here that are former Magic Knights. To kind of spoiler alert over here, this is one included. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I would say he's should be a top 3 if I had to say, right?
yeah, 100%. Like, yo, Vengeance is deadly. Anything other than top three is kind of disrespectful for my guy.
Facts. All right, let's get into the next one. So coming in at number 5, we got Foygolion Vermilion. He is the captain of the Crimson Lion. He is a bit older than the rest of them at 31, still pretty young. Obviously, he's been a captain for quite some time. He does fire magic, and yeah, I mean, he's also a noble. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say in my opinion. He should definitely be on here as a top 4, top 5, top. He might even be a top 3, to be honest. But yeah, he's up here for sure.
Okay, so here's my take on it, right? We know that his sister is stronger than him, for sure. There's no doubt about that, right?
Mhm.
The fact is that this guy controls a mythical beast, so that gives him one up, you know.
Yep.
That's insane. Anyone that controls a mythical beast has to be extremely powerful, but also chosen in the right sense, right? They don't just latch on to anybody. It's usually like for a reason. Um, saying that his personality is also always coming from a outlook of learning. I would say like he's always
Mhm.
trying to learn how to become better, how to become stronger, how to make his team the best. And
Yeah.
I would say out of the nobles, he acts the least noble. As in, he doesn't really give a shit if you're noble or you're not. He just knows that if you put in the hard work and you do what you got to do, one
Mhm.
day you will become a demon. He's very opposite in terms of personality from the Nozel. What's his name?
Yeah, Nozel. Yeah.
Yeah, like Nozel. He's very um, opposite, and I would say that's where he kind of, in my eyes, takes the crown over him because of that lack of basically looking down on others. It opens his mind. It gives him more of a chance because he doesn't underestimate everybody. But um, I would say if there's a list, he's he's there and Nozell is right under him. Like that's how I would put it. Like I would give him like the fifth and sixth, if that's how it is, or like the sixth and seventh, whatever that is.
Yeah, no, again, I agree with you. He has exactly what Nozell doesn't have in terms of leadership and the right qualities to be a good leader and to be strong as well and not to underestimate your opponent and all that stuff. So yeah, I think he's stronger than Nozell. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. But I think we should get into the next one because it kind of ties in with this one, and that is Mary Leona Vermillion, who is his older sister, and she was the former captain of the Crimson Line. She's 33, so just 2 years older. Also uses fire magic. But yeah, I mean, it's stated very clearly that she's stronger than him. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Wherever he's at, she's one higher than him.
Okay, so now one higher. She's way higher than this dude. Like, bro, she trained Yami. Like, think about that for a second. Yami is one of the strongest captains we
Mhm.
know, and
Yeah,
she literally trained him on Mana Zone. Like,
that's true.
the
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is, she's probably number one after King Julius.
Okay.
Everybody that fights her is like, bro, what am I fighting? Like, bro, what's going on? Even when Yami went to fight her just so he can train because he knows that that's how much she is ahead of him. Like Yami is such a good fighter, and we know that he has the mantra of, you know, going past your potential, and that's the only way to really upgrade yourself. I would say that first of all, she's an amazing leader, right? Firstly, she's an amazing leader because she has that confidence in herself. She knows that she can fuck up everybody, so that kind of brings confidence to the rest of the group. But also, like in terms of like harnessing a pupil and making him better. She did that for so many people during right before the fight, right before the war. And Asta was part of it. Like what do you call it? Yami was part of it. That was so funny when like the fire paws come out of her and she just grabs them by the head. Like she's the senpai. She's the one that trains everybody, and she's strong as shit. She doesn't need mythical beast. And the thing is, it's not even her like special power. I would say her physical attributes are just deadly. Like she doesn't even need fire, like her firepower to kill people. She just goes out there, is a monster with just physical brute strength. So, in my opinion, she's number two, but number four is still a good spot to put her at.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Let's get into the next one. So next up, we got Yami Sukihiro at number three. Obviously, man, it's definitely one of the coolest captains, most badass. We talked about this earlier, in terms of leadership, but yeah, he's 29 years old. So again, a pretty young captain. He's been a captain for a little while now. He uses dark magic. We obviously know his abilities and how strong, capable he is. But yeah, on man, you think he's worth top three?
Yeah, I think definitely he's. So damn, I would put him top four,
Okay.
and this is how I would do it. I would say he is under um Clover that F Fergrion. I don't know how to say her name,
Wait,
but
something like that.
the fire lady captain. So he's definitely under her. He's under William Vengeance and he's under King Julius. But other than that, I don't think he's under anybody else. Realistically, I know he's not a royalty. He's not a royalty, but firstly, let's look at his leadership. He has the worst crew members initially, and he makes them elite. Just quick examples. Asta. No one wanted to pick him up. He picked him up. Beast. Noelle, she got thrown out from her clan. No one wanted to pick her up. Now she's a beast. Lucky. Same thing with Lucky. Same thing with that fire dude. I think with the fire dude Magma, if anything, he was regarded as like shit basically. And now he's amazing. Same thing with the girl. Same thing with the girl that gets drunk all the time. Um, she was horrible until and then she got that cat. But the fact is like the point I'm making is he's like LeBron, right? He makes everybody around him like way better.
I don't know
And I had to throw that in for you.
about that.
But yeah, like the way he brought up Asta and he lets Asta shine, wherever he can, he lets Asta do shine. And that one quote that he says is this is your time to surpass your limits. That one quote has made Asta and the rest of the crew so much stronger. because it makes their mental willpower at the end of fights greater than the enemies, and they just succeed that way. Um, yeah, he's definitely just right. He's right. He's four. He is four. Like, there's no if ands or buts. It's Julius,
Mhm.
Fregreon, Vengeance, then him.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
honestly a pretty solid list. Mine is something similar than that, like that. I'd probably say at the end I have to go through all these, but yeah, I mean, overall in terms of leadership, he's the number one. I mean, obviously, his squad is technically filled with scrubs who aren't really scrubs. He's made every single one of them overachieve in a way. Like every single one of them has done way better than anyone could have thought. Like I do with no magic on top, and obviously, or whatever. Asta has some caveats to that, but other than that, I mean, Finral, he's just a brother of a Golden Knight. But nah, he made him strong. He made him useful. Obviously, he trolled him a little bit with making him his personal chauffeur and whatnot. But again, Noel made her strong. We're talking about Magma. Magma was just another. They called it peasant. I hate using that word, bro, but he was a peasant, bro, and he made him one of the strongest characters, as well as Luck and literally each and every one of the squad member of the Black Bulls is literally overachieved, and that's just because of Yami's leadership. And he's a lead by example type of guy. I mean, he makes sure that he and everyone in his squad can surpass their limits, as they always say. But not only that, his leadership up there, but he's also fucking strong. You know what I mean? Like he's gone toe to toe with all these different characters, all these different elites, nobles, whatever you want to call them, and even leaders from different nations. And his skill is sick. Like dark magic. On top of that, he can wield a sword, and I don't really think anyone else is using a sword like that in this anime, other than like probably Charlotte, who we called her mid tier. But yeah, I mean Yami is just on a different level. I don't know if he's right now. We're in the manga. We're talking about the anime only, not the manga. I don't know if he has surpassed Julius and these other characters that we would say this top three, but he is unquestionably a top four and maybe even a top three.
Yeah, for sure. Just to touch up on his power. I think he has one of the most unique powers out there, like the darkness power. It's one that we haven't seen, in Black Clover other than him. And also, like, we've seen him not only upgrade him, like the people around him,
Mhm.
but he also strives to become the best, and he doesn't shy away from taking advice or like coaching from other people. Like he has taken coaching from to learn mana zone. He literally went and asked Fregreon if she can train him on that, and I would say now he's like that brought him his skill set so much higher, and it cemented him in the top five. Once he learned that, also once he learned like dimensional slash, he could cut through anything, right? Even like that dream world that the dreamer, Magic Knight had, he cut through that. So I would say, if I remember correctly, he could cut through that. Not don't take my word fully on it, but that's what I remember. And he's just one of the strongest and one of the most just uplifting characters in Black Clover. But
Yeah.
yeah, definitely well deserved spot 3.
All right, let's get into the next one. So we're at the top two. Coming at number two, we have Yuno. He is the current squad leader of Golden Dawn. He's 17 years old, so far the youngest squad leader out here. He has wind magic and spoiler alert, I guess he has star magic. I don't really remember that. Is that from his like the spirit that's with him? I don't know,
I
but
think so. It's mostly wind magic, though. We know that for sure.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, we got a little bit of a reveal about his backstory, and technically he was an orphan, but not really because he came from um like royalty elsewhere. I don't want to spoil it too much. And again, I haven't read the manga, so I'm trying to avoid spoilers for myself. But we all know who Yuno is. He's basically the rival to Asta. And yeah, he's number two on this list. Owen, what are your thoughts, man? Do you think this is too high?
Way too high.
Yeah.
Like, bro just became a captain, barely. The Obviously, like, he's up and coming, bro. He's 17. He's up and coming. He still has a ways to go. I would say in terms of experience, he has the least experience in terms like at all. I would say power level, potential level, he's the highest. His potential is the highest because first of all, he's extreme royalty. Secondly, he has the power of wind, which is I would say a very rare power, and also he has the mythical beast fairy, with him, and that puts him, that gives him another +1. Um, at one day he will become, one of the top two in the verse for sure. We're not going to take that away from him, but right now I would say I would give him lower squad, like low squad, not like low captain. I mean, not
Mhm.
not high captain. That makes no sense. Like he's not stronger than Yami. He's not stronger than a Ripper. He's not stronger than Nozel or the Fire one. Um,
I don't know, man. I
his,
think that he could clap like Nozel, to be honest.
I feel like
Like
damn,
manga
it
wise,
is hard. I feel
we-
I feel like he could fight with them. I don't know if he's clapping them.
that's
What
fair.
like
I mean, I'm
Like
just
yes,
assuming.
yes, I do get it. Like this dude is extremely powerful, and he has mythical beast with him. That gives him another +1, but he's just not old enough to make the right decisions, in my opinion. And I think his four leaf clover, like his his royaltiness, just carries him heavy. And I think he still needs to work on like the leadership aspect of it. Again, he just became a captain, so he hasn't really led anybody per se. He doesn't really mentor people like that, even though he was the captain. He rose to vice captain and captain purely based off of his um, power, not based off of his leadership and any of that stuff. So I would say he's definitely on the road to it, but I would give him, if anything, low to mid tier as a captain.
Yeah, so just a couple of things to clear up on my end for So right now, I don't think he's a top three. Potential wise, he has a top number one potential, obviously,
Yeah.
but I'm just gonna assume that he got stronger in the manga, which is kind of it seems like this list is accounting for the manga. So I would have him at the upper echelon of the middle pack, or honestly, I would have him in the lower echelon of the top four, just because we're gonna assume that he got stronger. He has that spirit with him. He's a noble in a way. He's royalty. He has everything going for him, and he's young. I mean, if we're gonna vote, or if we're gonna basically rank him the same way we rank the other characters, he has an experience, of course, but he's cool, calm, collected, unlike Real. But also on top of that, we talked about how the first guy became a vice captain, or he became a captain just because his actual captain was a traitor. In a way, also did the same thing, but unlike that guy, Yuno's actually strong. He's very capable. He has magic that is powerful. He has a spirit. So yeah, I mean, to be fair, I would probably say he's like a top five cemented right now. And this is just my opinion. I know you don't agree with that one, but I don't know, man.
I'm not basing it off manga though. That's the thing. I'm
Okay,
not.
okay,
I'm
fair,
I'm
fair.
basing it straight off of anime, and I'm also looking at it from a very wide perspective
Mhm.
in terms of like me comparing him to Yami, right? Yami has done so much more for his squad than
Yeah.
Yuno has ever done
Oh,
and it's not Yuno's fault. You know what I mean? It's not Yuno's fault. It's just that he just got to the position. He didn't have any time to get to that point yet. And I would say even for Fergrion or the fire guy, like he puts so much emphasis on his little brother.
mhm.
He tries getting his squad to become really good, and that's one aspect that is I think overshadowed. Um, you don't really take that into account when you're ranking a captain, but I don't know. I do take that into account, and if we're talking about strength, bro, he has the potential to, and you said that, yeah, he has the potential to be number one. So
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going in the manga, but definitely this like he has the potential to be number one. So I can see him be number four right now.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think we both agree potential to be number one is there for him for sure. But yo, let's
But I'm basing it straight off of anime. Like
okay.
I have no knowledge of manga or how crazy he goes. I'm basing this straight off of anime. And if we were to put at number four, we have to put Asta directly next to him. Like
Okay.
uh, Asta is an anomaly. No one can fight him because he's anti magic, and dude has a demon in him. So he's OP in his own right. So wherever I put is that's exactly where I'm putting Asta.
Okay, yeah. I mean, anime wise, I'd probably have him, I don't know, like six or seven, eight, maybe even. Yeah,
Yeah,
around there. Yeah, sounds
yeah,
about
me too. Yeah,
But and also in the anime, I think that Yuno's stronger than Asta. Hot take, but
I feel like Yuno is stronger than Asta, but Asta has so unorthodox
yeah, it's
that like he can fuck people up just because he's unorthodox. Like,
yeah,
how are you? They've never fought against anti magic. They have fought against strong magic. Obviously, Yuno's magic is extremely strong, and that's why he is stronger than Asta. But I
yeah,
would say because Asta is so unorthodox, he has no magic, and Asta's willpower is something that is the number one thing that puts him above everybody else.
yeah,
It's not about his strength, and it's not about even him being unorthodox. His willpower of never giving up is something that I think is way higher than what like the things that Asta has been through since the beginning of the story. Has breezed through life
yeah.
compared to what Asta has been through. So I would say in terms of willpower and getting it done, there's no one that will break after like everyone will break faster than Asta is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, okay, fair, fair. All right, let's get into the top one. Number one, we got Julius Novachrono as the strongest captain. He was the former captain of Azure Deer. He's 44 years old and he has time magic. Obviously, he's a Wizard King now, so technically it's not really fair because he's up there. But yeah, I mean, he's technically the strongest out of all the former Magic Knights that we got on this list. So yeah, fair spot. I don't think we can see anyone beating him right now. Again, if we're talking potential, we know Asta and have the potential to surpass him over time, but right now we're at in the anime, he's just built different.
Yeah, I mean, this dude is a cheat code. He one shots everybody he comes across. The dude, first of all, he has mastered his own magic and he knows about everybody's magic. You're not. He has been in experience wise most experienced, strength wise the most powerful, wisdom wise he's very wise, and in terms of like just knowing everything, he is a nerd. Like at heart, he is a nerd when it comes to magic, and that puts him like you see that picture, but that's him nerding out on some magic. Like
Yeah,
this is what he does. This is his life, and he is the true definition of a student, a forever student.
yeah,
He's still learning. Like the way he investigates Asta and it's like a baby that gets candy or like a kid that gets candy. He loves it. It's ingrained in him, and he is the Wizard King, so you can't take that away from him. Number one spot for sure,
nice.
and it's undebatable.
Yeah. All right, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Um, let us know your guys' thoughts and opinions on the ranking of the Magic Knights. I know a lot of these are former Magic Knights, so it's kind of hard to rank them exactly where they're at. Technically, there's nine, but fuck it, we're just following this list. So again, link will be in the description for this list. But be sure to join our Discord and let us know your guys' opinion and where you guys think these Magic Knights rank against each other. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. We'll catch you guys on the next episode where we're doing the news podcast. But yeah, with that being said, y'all have a good week. Peace out and take it easy.
Peace.